Coming up on Varsity Sports Now, it's a day dreams come true as a number of local high school football standouts make their college selections official.
And whether it's the FCS or Division II, we're going to let you know where those players are headed.
UND, NDSU, USD, and SDSU all bringing in local talent. We'll try and gauge the impact those players will have with the help of several regional experts. It's all just ahead on the Varsity Sports Now Signing Day Special. And how's everybody doing? Jay Elson, Jason, and Aaron. This is, again, the Varsity Sports Now Signing Day Special. It is upon us, Jason, and many high school players from North and South Dakota have inked their commitment to play at the next level.
Now, we didn't have any of the big headliners, the big FBS players that we've had in the last couple of years, but there are plenty of players going on to play college football that will make a big impact on Saturdays.
Yeah, and let's start with the national champions, Jason. NDSU has made it a habit of getting some of the best linemen from its home state, and they kept a few of the good ones again this year. Luke Bacon, Stanley Jones, Tanner Volson, all committed to the Bison. And they also got Kindred star Eric Bachmeyer, and let me tell you what, he could not stop smiling when he was talking about his future team.
Just the institution that NDSU is, great facility, huge expectations, you know. You don't want to go to a place where it has low expectations, so going to a place with high expectations is pretty big for me.
Now, the Bison are also making a habit of getting one of the top players out of Sioux Falls, and they did that again when they found Dan Marlette of Washington.
Once I found out that they hired the D coordinator, I was a little more comfortable because I'm a linebacker, so they recruited me because I fit their defense, and so it was a lot more comforting when they hired within.
All right, for more on the Bison, we bring in Brian Shawn to talk about some of those gets for North Dakota State. And Brian, first off, was recruiting any different this year after the head coaching change?
You know, it was interesting how that all worked out because with Craig Bull leaving when he did, and when he announced that decision to leave in early December, I think there was some concern that some of the current commits in December might look elsewhere just because of the changeover in staff. Fortunately for NDSU, Chris Kleiman stayed, and I really think that kept a lot of the current and previous commitments to keep their commitments and attend North Dakota State.
All right, now, Brian, NDSU has been bringing linemen in from North Dakota. Did they strike it rich again with these three big guys?
You know, I think they feel really good about the guys they did get, in particular the two offensive linemen. And they're from smaller schools. A lot of people probably haven't heard of them just because they come from those smaller schools. But they got offers early. And I think the reason they did is because NDSU had those kids in camp and saw what kind of linemen they could be and really liked the potential of what they could do in North Dakota State's power running game system. And these two kids, Luke Bacon, really seems to be a kid that could go in that direction. Tanner Volson, the other kid from Balfour, are the two guys. And then I think they're really high on Stanley Jones, who is a defensive end from Bismarck High, who they also recruited very, very heavily. And you get those three guys that are North Dakota kids. NDSU's done a really good job of keeping those kids and not giving them to any other regional schools. They kept the North Dakota kids home, and that's panned out very well for them the last several years.
All right, I know you've had a chance to watch Eric Bachmeyer play, Brian. Tell us where he might fit position-wise for the Bison.
You know, I think that he really could play a number of positions just because of, you know, really how he could fit in a variety of ways. And I think he's going to be really important on special teams his first couple of years. But at safety, I think, is the spot they're going to want to use him. And with Colton Hegel and Christian Dudzik both graduating after next season, that's going to create some holes in that secondary for safeties. And Bachmeyer may not have quite the lateral or vertical speed to be a corner, but he certainly has it to be a safety. And I think that's a spot where he could be very effective once he puts on some weight, because he's been an excellent tackler and a great athlete that you could put back there that could do a lot of good things on the field, in particular on special teams, as I mentioned.
All right, that was Brian Shawn, who spent the past couple of years as the TV play-by-play guy for North Dakota State. All right, when we come back, we'll check in with the other FCS schools in our area, and later, we're going to fill you in on some of the best Division II signings.
Varsity Sports Now, presented by Shields.